Taglia, lover of Snezhnayan queen. There was a cat that really was gone. Taglia, Snezhnayan's greatest love machine. It was a shame how he carried on.
Thứ thời con cặc đồ mày nói chuyện vô dân quá. Mày coi chừng mày chết với tao rồi mày.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt. One with nature. Fallen leaves. Adorn my...
Everybody stand back. Let's light it up. Nice and spicy. Eat this.
Into the wind.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
No time to lose.
Let's light it up.
Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds.
Off we go. Everybody stand back.
Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
You're toast. Yeah, out of the frying pan into the
Wind strider.
embrace the ice. Higher, higher, hands on fire. No, my sword. Ring cutter. Whirling snow. Sakura swirl.
Hello people, hello, it's NeonCey here. So this is just a brief part of the video where I wanted to explain why I use these kind of teams and what the fuck's going on with this abyss. So necessarily, this is one of the hardest abysses I have ever done. Really. This challenged me because I couldn't even use my personal main Xiao. Because he couldn't even do it. Like, he just couldn't do it in the time where he didn't have enough energy. He would just run out of time. And for some reason, my Hutao didn't work with her normal team of Xingqu, Kazuha, and Zhongli, or some other shit. It was a really big pain to do this abyss in my eyes, and it was a horrible abyss to do. I think it was weird. It's gonna be really hard with free-to-plays, because me, I'm an AR-60, so, and I have everything grinded, great talents. I mean, my Hutao is one of my best built characters by far. And honestly, I just really had a fucking hard time with this abyss doing my normal 2 good teams. So I decided more or less to skip Xiao. Now I tried Yoimiya. Yoimiya though is single target. She doesn't have AoE, which will make her really bad against the Drakes and also the Visions. Since she's single target. She won't have enough time to kill everything and her cooldown will be pretty bad. So I decided to use a guy that is really good AoE, but a really trash cooldown, but can be really applied with his national team. And that was, of course, the man you know, that was Childe. And he is really good for this abyss because of his AoE and how he works with Xangling. So more or less, Xangling enabled him, more or less, they can do damage with each other. Childe will apply the Hydra while doing his damage with Vaporize, and then Xangling can do her Pyro damage and help Childe. So more or less, they just act as one-on-one with each other. So another thing that I also decided was to put Ayaka there. Now Ayaka's really good as she can constantly apply cryo. I was actually going to use a 4-piece emblem build for Ayaka, but I had no emblem pieces left and no sacrificial sword. And more or less, I just decided to go with my normal build where she can do damage and get energy over time. So I kind of just used Ayaka and Hutao as just more of a normal team. And since I don't have Yelan, since I missed her banner, well, didn't miss it, but I just never wished. I kind of had to use her as a sub for Yelan, and she actually did really good as that. That's one thing I really like Ayaka about now. Her burst is very good for Huta. I just wish it didn't have a very annoying cooldown. Or I honestly would recommend you having like a 4-piece emblem sacrificial sword build on her. Anyways, so more or less, I think Childe is the best character for this Abyss, not in all. I mean, he just see now I've also heard about hyper bloom teams. I will be working on a guide with a hyper bloom team, though I am still working on the traveler and how he works with hyper bloom. I'm still kind of new to it since Dender just came out. So yeah, I'll try and make another guide, and of course you guys can always request guides. For me, really, this Abyss, it was actually pretty fun to do, though, more or less. Though it took a couple of tries to find teams, to find good teams that can actually do this Abyss. Plus, though, it was kind of an expensive Abyss since I had to use a lot of 5-star weapons and a lot of good builds, as I don't really like to do as I'm trying to make the guide as free-to-play friendly. I tried doing this Abyss as free-to-play as I could, really. I tried doing it as good as I could, using Xangling, using, like, Xingqu. More or less, I just tried to make this Abyss nice, and I'm sorry if you find it a little bit hard from this build. Just trying to help people in, like, the AR-55 to the AR-59 category of players. I wouldn't recommend this, because as most people won't even get to floor 12 because of this Abyss, because I've heard floor 10 is an absolute bitch. But yeah. So some game theorizing I just came up with. I think Childe's AoE is just best because there's so many enemies that are spread around, like the Drakes. You need a big AoEer like Childe, who only relies on his skill and isn't like Xiao who really costs energy. He more or less, Xangling and Childe are the best for this Abyss. Childe national team was really good, really fun to play, and it was a nice build. Though I do kind of feel, I think I should have probably done this like with my Skyward Harp or maybe a Stringless. It probably would have been impossible as the damage just wouldn't have been the same. Though yeah. I hope you found this guide really good though. And I really hope you have a good rest of your day. I'll see you later. Bye bye.